Nick Cannon, right? Nick Cannon right now is back in the news. Not for having another kid, I don't think, right? Because he has 12 kids, 4 baby mamas.
And definitely not for his music.
6
Hey,
baby
$20.
mamas.
$20 if you can name a Nick Cannon song. Go.
Wow, the Wild 'N Out theme song. No, I don't know.
Run, squad.
Yeah.
I go. So Nick Cannon.
Yeah. So this one's weird, man. This one is one that like, you know what's weird is even like dudes who are not red pilled, right? So like if you look at somebody like Fresh and Fit, like on a spectrum, right? I hope to God that everybody understands that we are like on the opposite spectrum of some like red pill, like dumb like that, right? But even people like on our end of the spectrum, some of them are like, if it's consensual, and that's the kind of the boat that I was on for a lot of this shit. It's like, if it's consensual, who gives? But man, there's something super weird about like Nick Cannon having 12 kids by 6 moms. 4 of them were pregnant at once, and then to come on and say something on Twitter, was it Twitter or wherever it was, that he wants Taylor Swift to be the kid of the mom of kid number 13.
Like that's like okay,
that's
the
weird,
dude obviously,
bro.
The dude obviously has a breathing kink, which apparently is a thing, right?
I didn't even know what that.
Yeah, it's a thing. Is but look,
I get pregnancy kink. I get that. But
look, man, I
which I think I'm alone on for a lot of things, but
I feel okay.
But not
so I
getting
feel like,
people pregnant, you know.
Look, so real quick, I feel like this should be said. We don't kink shame, right? If anything, we have quick questions.
Right.
Nah, fuck. 13 kids is wild. And people can say, like, well, if he could afford it, he could afford it, right? But here's my thing, right? And I don't want to get too serious, right? Especially now that we're at the tail end of the show, is that you can't be a good parent to 13 kids.
No way.
And you know their names, everyone's name?
I can name all, of course.
You can name
all
every
of your kids?
I'm going to test
you.
you. I got the. Well, hold on.
Moroccan and Monroe, which we call Rock and Roll. Golden, Powerful, and then Zion, Zillion, Zen.
That's
and
correct.
then from there, there's Legendary. Then there's
Legendary Love.
Rise. Legendary Love. Then there's Rise.
You left out Onyx Ice Cold.
Oh no! You know what? I did.
You did.
You got.
I knew you didn't know them all.
And you know what? Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Go ahead.
And he did say that he doesn't make it to recitals, to games, because he says
impossible.
Those things are pointless. I know, but he also said those things are pointless, right? He literally said some variation of those words, right? I'm sorry, like, and the thing is, like, whether you can afford having a kid is completely different. Whether you will be a good parent, and I don't think, I think being a good parent to 3 kids is a stretch, let alone 12. Now that he's aiming for 13, like that's just weird.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like, so
that's just my 2 cents.
My grandparents has 6. So my mom has 5 other siblings. My dad has 11 other siblings.
God damn, you can tell Netflix was something back in the day.
Here's the deal. I don't think there's anything like special about only having 1 baby mama or 1 baby daddy. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes life fucking happens. You know what I mean?
Happens.
You have 2 kids with somebody. You get a divorce. You have, you get married for another 4 years. You have another kid with that person. You get a divorce. You get married. It's like, okay, now you're 45 with 3 baby daddies. Like, that doesn't make you a bad person, right? So I don't want to say that having the amount of baby mamas is like the point, but I think you hit it. It's like, you don't give, that's it right there. That's it right there. Because it's not about how many partners it is, right? Because if it was like, oh, Nick Cannon has 13 simultaneous girlfriends, my question would be, do they know about it? Is it consensual? Are they okay with it? Is there anything, as long as like everybody's like on board, it's not some weird sex cult, then mind your business. Who gives a right?
Yeah.
Him purposefully wanting them to be pregnant to the point where 4 of them were pregnant at once, that is irresponsible on ginormous levels due to exactly what you said regarding the children.
That's what I'm saying. But you know what it is, though? A lot of people don't see kids. You know how we're talking about seeing people as people. A lot of parents don't see kids as people. They see them as property.
That is 100%. You nailed it.
You know what I mean? like there's so many things. I mean, we can talk for another hour about this particular phenomenon right here.
But we won't.
But
that's not for you. That's for the listeners. People are like, oh my God, an hour. I don't have to finish this one tomorrow.
Like, damn, this commute to work is not long enough.
Yeah.
But anyways, but overall though, that's where the conversation should start and end, in my opinion.
That's it.
It's
No,
the fact that you cannot be a good parent to 13 kids.
No.
You know what I mean? I don't care how economically stable you are and able to provide for all of them equally.
I want to make sure. Hold on. I don't want to gloss over. You nailed it. You nailed it twice, right?
Twice.
But the last one, that's it. That is it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you look at our culture, when you look at like I know we're supposed to be like, hey, we're talking about pop culture, you know, blah, 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 right? We're not doing the Beta Boy TV like social.
We're supposed to be funny.
Shit. Yeah, but I can't help it, right? Because I mean, life is political. You know what I'm saying? Here's the deal: when you look at like Western culture and Western chauvinism and all this stuff, that is exactly correct on how they view women and children. They have historically been property. You literally sold your daughter for a dowry. You had sons so that you could keep the land and the land didn't get lost when you died and your wife would be destitute. So you had to have a son who can take the land from you. You know what I mean? Like they're literal property. Listen, here's what I'm gonna say, and it's kind of wild because I know we were talking about like objectification. I mean breeding kink, yada yada yada. But man, dude, I think you definitely added something to my brain right there. That is exactly it. Nick Cannon is collecting children and baby mamas, by the way, because like these are the type of people that like, yeah, you can get married to somebody else, but you had my kid. Like you had my kid first. You know what I mean? And no matter who you marry, because that in that culture, in that kind of like fucked up part of like men, that's like a you know. And I'd be lying. I'd be lying if I didn't have. If I said I didn't have that mentality. You know what I mean? Like when I was younger, and maybe like an ex or something gets married, I'm like, but we did this and that. You know what I mean? And that's up. It's wild. It is toxic. Nick Cannon is literally collecting children like you would collect cars, Lamborghinis, and you know, designer dogs.
That's how you know I'm a nerd, because I was like you will collect Pokemons, and then
but you know,
like, oh yeah,
Lambos too.
I was like, that makes so much more sense.